We're live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Armwrestling Showcase, episode number 33. Everyone knows our host, Kane Fontecchio with Alpha Empire Armwrestling, and my name is Josh Edwards with Nowhere to Run. Tonight, we have some very special guests with us. We have Casey, the Grizzly Stevens, one of the big up-and-coming super heavyweights here in California. And we also have his opponent coming up at the state championship, Jeremy the Tank Petruncio. Been in the game for a long time, making his comeback. How you gentlemen doing tonight?
Good,
Feel amazing.
Good. It's good to have you. We're going to be talking to you guys tonight about your match that's coming up, and then we're going to be talking, obviously, about the UAL state championship and some other cool things that we have up and coming for the youth and different things in California.
Absolutely.
Casey, it's been a long time since you've been on here. How you doing?
Yeah, I feel great. Feel strong.
Good,
Ready to crush it.
That's what's up. And Jeremy, you've been back in it for how long? About what, 4 or 5 months?
8 months, but my first tournament back was in July, in Vegas at the Binions, and then October in Victorville.
Oh, okay.
And then I pulled off weekend and got my ass kicked at Knuckles Up. But
where was that at? The Knuckles Up
in Jersey.
Oh, okay, cool.
You did the Kringle pull too.
Man,
You've been busy.
Oh, yeah.
Came back.
Oh yeah.
How does it feel to be back, Jeremy?
Fucking weird, man. In my head, I'm still the same dude, and I'm still like this badass that gets on the table, and then I don't show up for shit, dude. It's kicking my ass, and I'm hoping to come in there and fuck Casey up. I mean, not to lie. I need my confidence back. And every tournament I go to, I get my ass kicked. So,
Oh man, it might feel like deja vu then for you.
I know that.
Oh boy!
But, the one thing about it is my left hand is not what this motherfucking right is. So, just expect the best from me when I come out there.
All right, so. Starting things off right. We got Rodell Escalar in the chat. What's up, Rodell? So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that match. And I want to, both of you guys, I feel like are on the rise just in different ways. Casey, you're newer to the sport, but you're making a bunch of noise in the super heavyweights out here. And Tank, you've made a bunch of noise. You're just coming back to make some more. So, yeah, this is cool stuff. Jeremy, can you dive in a little bit deeper in terms of like, what it's been like coming back, and well, let's back up a little bit first. I want to lead up to that, but for a lot of the people that are newer that watch the show and stuff that don't know who you are, let's get some background on you, how you got into the sport, where the sport took you, and all that.
Absolutely. So I've started arm wrestling, like everybody, bars, schools, that kind of thing. And then 2007, I went to the California San Bernardino County Fair, and they happened to have an arm wrestling booth going on. USAA, I think, was the one that was putting it on. And I seen this little dude whooping up on everybody. And so I wanted to go over there and pull him. The guy's name was Vazjan. So I showed up over there, but they had me pull this kid named Daniel Holliker. The kid was good. I mean, he beat up on me at that little spot, and I got to end up pulling Vazjan, and of course I couldn't touch the guy. But I went through pretty much everybody else in the crowd, and I got told by the guy, he's like, "Hey, you're pretty good at this. You should go through with it." And then I didn't know it was a sport, and I started training down at Vazjan's camp, and I trained at Alan Fisher's camp, and I found out where all the local clubs were, and that's what I started doing. But I, of course, lived in Barstow or 29 Palms, and so I never had a club near me. And then I went to Huck Finn in 2007-ish time frame, and I've been hooked ever since. I mean, getting to pull guys like Don McClary back in his day, watching him smoke everybody at a tournament and then beat me as well. And the next year, showing up the same tournament and actually beating everybody that came out. And 2010, I think it was right around 2010 is when UAL came to fruition. Everybody knows I'm the guy with the UAL tattoo. And so I jumped on board with that, you know, and I wanted to become the best. And that was when I was pulling both amateur and pro, but my first like tournament, you know, I pulled a pro class and I'm like getting swamped by guys like Les Zolman and Clay Rosencrantz. And eventually I beat Clay Rosencrantz again a year later at another tournament. And it was like, man, you couldn't wait to get to see some of these guys that beat you because, you know, you just don't know. And I also got beat by Bruce Way at an amateur tournament, you know, but I had pulled pro class and it smoked me going to the pro. But like Casey, you know, I'm glad that he's, you know, throwing his hat in this mix and only a few years in and just, you know, throwing it in the pros is great. I recommend everybody, if you're pulling amateurs, you might as well pull the pro class because, you know, get your money's worth, right?
Yeah.
For me, then, you know, UAL kind of took me on a really great path. I pulled all those tournaments. When they started to fall off a little bit, Wall got big, but Wall wouldn't let me pull because of my tattoo. There was some issues there. They didn't want. I was willing to cover it up and whatnot. There was some times where I wasn't. You know, it's like, hey, what the hell does it even matter? But nor here nor there. That's all gone in the past. 2014, I went to nationals and I smoked them. You know, I smoked the nationals really well, and then went to worlds in Lithuania. I took 9th in the world. The only two people I lost to was Georgi Svetkov and Farid Osmanli. And then I took 13th left-handed. So my left hand at that time was okay. It isn't what it is now. It's crap, as Casey knows. And then, I mean, then I got cancer in 2000. It was like 18, 19, right at that point. And it was colon and esophageal cancer. It was a bummer. And the screwed up part about it is when I found out about it, I was 3 months into chemo, but I really wanted to pull this tournament in Pennsylvania. I went out there, I pulled Steve Walker, and I beat him at that tournament.
Okay.
But I ended up getting kicked out of the tournament before we finished because I went after Milk Christmas on the table. Some crap happened. I went after the referee, and that was bullshit on my part. I should have never done it, and I apologize to everybody out there for that. And I kind of took a back step, you know, for a while. I did live in Texas, and you know, my job's taking me all over. But the best teams I've worked with, obviously, like Derek Smith was one of my first training partners in Cali. I trained with Bob Easer for, you know, quite some time, who was the referee from the Over the Top movie. And, you know, California had some great pullers for quite some time, even before Tony Tomlinson moved out here. You know, and then I moved to Jersey and I trained with Team Beast Mode, and Marcio and those guys, and fantastic team. Jason Merlot, Gary, Jerry, man, Pedro, all those guys out there are just rock stars, right? And that's what made me realize that, man, I need to move near the sport. But then I get cancer and it screwed it all up. And then family died during COVID, so we came back to California, and my job gave me a job out here. And I'm trying to kill it here, and I'm trying to make a comeback. And I don't know where it's going to take me. If I'm losing to people, I don't care. I'm having fun with the sport. But I will tell you this, I'm going to bring a lot of energy. I'm going to talk shit no matter what. I got a lot of confidence. I don't give a damn. Everything I've been through, you know, if you want to dog me for losing, get the fuck over it. See me in a year or two and see how I feel, right? You know, that's the way I feel about it.
Cool. And where you're looking good, you're looking strong. Did you beat some cancer ass, or what happened?
I did. So I'm in remission for 8 months. It took almost 4 years to get rid of it, dude. It tried to kick my ass. I damn near thought I was gonna die. But I kept my strength. It was weird. Like, I lost a lot of weight, you know, because I was like over almost 500 pounds a couple times, and then I'm down to 396 this past weekend. I'm probably over 400 now.
Wow. Well,
yeah.
Good for you, man. Mad respect for what you've been going through, and just kind of fighting through it, and really trying to make that comeback. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this match. I'm looking just forward to your trajectory and your path from here. I'm rooting for you in that sense, especially. So UAL is coming around the corner, the 20th. I don't know where you start tapering, but am I going to see you at practice on this Sunday?
I wish I could make it out to a practice, but I'm gonna have to work. And then I got, obviously I'm still banged up from Jersey. Like I'm literally I'm going to the gym every day doing blood flow work just to try to get ready for Casey. It kind of sucks because I wasn't anticipating taking two matches so close together, but when I got the offer, I couldn't pass up Knuckles Up, and I'm not going to pass up being in LA and Bill Collins asking me to do anything, right? So I took this on the notice that since October I knew I was going to pull Casey, but that last minute Knuckles Up just kind of threw a loop into my what I thought was my training. Right now, man, all this weights that I've been putting up. So I don't post my videos of what I'm doing, but goddamn it, Casey, you better watch the fuck out, bro. Like, dude, I'm watching you, bro, and I'm like, God damn it, you're giving me too much motivation right now, and I don't want to hurt myself.
That was going to be my next question. I noticed in a post or something like that after Knuckles Up, you were saying that you are at the strongest that you've been, and I'm assuming that's talking about between past and present. So are you saying that through tracking numbers in the gym?
So not only tracking numbers, so Derek gave me some ideas on how to track some of those numbers. What we're doing in the gym correlates to what we're doing on the table. And I also have Levi Prince. He's been coaching me, and then I got a new coach now too. On top of that, Mike from Jersey, and he's helping me. That's Steve Walker's coach.
Okay.
He helped me with my hand and wrist because obviously I lost a lot because I used to be a mechanic and now I am a chief of maintenance. I do a lot of paperwork. I'm behind the desk, right? My hand and wrist isn't what it used to be. My arm is super strong. Like I can get somebody probably in a press and do really well, but obviously I couldn't do that with Steve Walker. That damn hand was too much for me. And I'm just looking forward to Casey just because, we're kind of similar in the fact that he pulls similar to what I used to pull. A lot of outside, really quick, big dude, So I feel like he's my mini me, but he's not a mini because he's not so mini. But I really look forward to this kid coming up, and I want to see him succeed, and I might be a stepping stone for him. Maybe it'll open some more doors to get his ass out there, and if I beat him, it is what it is, right? So he'll get out there and he'll fucking keep training because like he pulled Brandon Allen. I thought he had that, dude. Like he really put a good effort in, and look what Brandon Allen just did, against God damn it, Rob Vincent Jr.
Yeah.
So, man, there's just a lot of good coming out of the arm wrestling right now, man. Like, and you got me talking, and I won't shut up. You got to tell me to shut up.
No, man, it's good. It's good. It's good. And it's such a trip to hear you say that he's like your mini me, man. Like I've stood next to Casey a bunch of times, dude, and like, I've never thought that, but I have stood next to you, Tank, as well. So I suppose I get it. But yeah, you both are some big dudes.
Backside, bro. That guy's just got a fucking watermelon head compared to me. But you want to do slap boxing, bro? Like if you ever want to tell a promoter to just slap, I'll come and do that with you, bro. I mean,
I love it.
I think we could fucking light it up.
We need that. Sure we need it, man.
World up, but I'll try.
We need some more arm wrestling dudes to come in as our champions for the slap fighting. Yeah. Cross this thing over, man. They're taking too much attention over there.
Go back to the X arms, holding hands and trying to arm wrestle and slapping each other at the same time.
Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. Bunch of craziness. And that damn cage thing that they're doing where they're like in a freaking phone booth beating the shit out of each other. Like
you couldn't fit in a phone booth, bro.
Or the car jujitsu.
You'd win already just with them trying to like get in there, They'd be like, I tap out. So you said a lot of things in arm wrestling going on. That, I mean, aside from how it feels athletically and everything to compete, do you feel like things have changed a lot since you were in the sport last in terms of,
Oh, yeah.
exposure, the scene, the tournaments?
So before YouTube got really great, right? So I was on Storage Wars, and that was my name to fame because I got to be on Storage Wars, and that's thanks to UAL and Robert Drink and those guys, right? And then I had a Coors Light commercial, and I got sponsored by Coors Light for a little while. And then there was MRI supplements, and I can go down the line of all the sponsors that I had. But right now with this social media, I'm not really good with it. I'm like old school. I don't really care to have that, but I'm gonna try now. But yeah, social media has made things go crazy. I mean, with the Larry Wheels guys showing up and the Brandon Allens and all these dudes coming out of the woodworks, we knew that they could be good in the sport, but we just, we were hoping that they could transition over, and they finally started doing so. And then you got, Casey out here slapboxing pro freaking UFC fighters and shit. It makes such great exposure for us.
Yeah.
But you also got those dudes doing stupid ass shit and going to prison or going, getting in trouble for things that they shouldn't be doing and saying they're arm wrestlers. And here we are screwing up our sport again, right?
Right.
So
Doesn't
we
help.
kind of need to stay away from that side of things. I'm a professional, and granted, I'm the funny motherfucker on camera, but in my real life, I'm a professional, with my work.
Yeah.
And I just take arm wrestling as just a fun thing. A tank comes out, you get to some excitement, you get the kids involved, you get the special needs involved. Yeah, and I'm just glad that we're getting this exposure. And then with all the new pullers, my God, these guys got all these videos to watch, and they're coming out of the woodworks and stronger than ever. It
Right.
took me 17 years to get to where I'm at, and these dudes are coming up in a year, 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, and challenging guys like myself already. It's insane.
Right. I was just talking at the Arm Fest with Todd Calzo and Crispin Woods about this, mostly in terms of the exposure that's out there for amateurs. It really is unreal because I got in a little over 4 years ago, and for me to start in amateurs at that particular time, I felt there wasn't a whole lot of purpose to it for me. Like I'd get more experience just going ahead and going into open. I tried briefly for the amateurs, but the amateurs were different. They were different even just 4 years ago. I think it was, yeah, even back then when I tried to look up videos like recovery videos and training videos, I think like all I can think back to is like Devin Larrett 20 years ago lifting a backpack full of stuff to do like recovery things. But I want to say starting like maybe 2 years ago, somewhere's around there, just a massive amount of content, educational content, especially like the Voice of Arm Wrestling has a lot. Todd Hutchings started posting a lot of things on his program, but it's everywhere, and I think that has something to do with, yeah, the amateurs right now that have been getting into the sport like the last year or two. They're good, man. They're like really good.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it kind
I'm
of
only 2 years in.
Sorry, Casey.
I was saying I'm only 2 years in, and I'm already pulling in pros.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It's impressive.
Well, you know what's
Tank,
scary is,
are you gonna be available in May?
Tank.
am I going to be available in May?
Yeah,
Possible. Why?
because we're gonna do North versus South too, and you're probably gonna want a rematch with Casey after the 21st.
You can go get Tom Nelson to come and say hi to me, but I think I'm going to look past Casey on this one.
Okay. So if you win, basically, you're going to be looking at Tom, and
I don't think I'm ready for it, but I would like to.
okay. I love it.
The only person I hadn't pulled in Cali was Tom, and you guys do know that I was, I don't know how many matches in O against Derek Smith for the longest time in California. Now, don't get me wrong, I ain't calling Derek out right now. I can't touch that guy right now, but that's my end result of what I'd like to see happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same.
Awesome. Yeah, and North vs. South is a great event. I'm really looking forward to that. In terms of 2024, that's probably my most anticipated event, whether I pull or not. Like I wanna be there, man. That was so cool. I want to jump over you a little bit, Casey, here. First, let me just say hi to Waldo Saldana. He says, "Hello, gentlemen. I can't wait to see this match." Yeah, Waldo's the man. He says, sending my love and respect. We got River Welch in here, Riv Slug, saying gonna be a good match. And we also got our moderator in the house, Benjimac. What's up, Benji? Good to see you. It was good to see you on Sunday at the mega practice at Armfest, looking strong. So yeah, Casey, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where you're at personally because this early in the game, I think I've said it to you before, but I just think it's really impressive, like the decisions that you're making in your training and your path and everything like that. You're one of those guys that like came in with a bear paw, so you're really strong with your hand. You can dominate a lot of people with that. And for dudes that come in with that, it's real easy to just kind of stay on that track for a long time. So it's been really cool this last year watching your improvement to actually, get into some new angles and stuff like that and add all this extra arsenal that you have. How's that going? How's your training going right now?
Oh, my training's been amazing. Ever since I started doing the pro class, a lot more weaknesses are obviously getting exposed because
Hmm.
when I was doing amateurs, I could kind of just muscle my way through some
Right.
people because I did have a strong hand for an amateur and stuff. So in pro class, mostly my side pressure has been my biggest downfall and my body positioning. So I've had people like Randy Weaver, Bill Collins, Derek Smith up my ass to asking me, why are
Yep.
you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you separating? And I just feel like it's starting to click. My side pressure has leveled up like tenfold recently. I'm trying to stay close now. So everything just feels crazy solid so
Amazing.
far.
I was waiting for you to say Derek Smith getting
Oh
up on.
yeah.
Yeah.
That that's why I like traveling. I get we get input from everybody we arm wrestle with because everyone feels something, everyone notices something, the people watching you pull notice something. So you get all this input and it's I mean, I for the most part, California has shaped me to who I am now. All the pullers in California that I've pulled help me, like Devin with his cosmic punch. Every time I arm wrestle everyone, I learn something. And
Right.
my training's always evolving and I'm always attacking my weaknesses and it's been amazing. I feel stronger than ever right now.
It really is so different state to state, and I'm sure Jeremy, you can attest to this too. Um, weird thing I notice is a lot of the dudes in the South and the Southeast, they seem to have a lot of hand and a lot of side pressure. Uh, yeah, which is kind of a strange combo. Usually it's one or the other. You got a bunch of elbow and no hand, or you got a bunch of hand and no elbow. But yeah, those guys, their ability to drive sideways and maintain their hand and wrist was really impressive. But yeah, the same thing Derek was getting on you about. Like I kind of get on our newcomers that come in for this like right away, especially if they have a good hand, because I did the same thing as you, but I'm glad you caught it quick. Like I came in just like a hand puller, even though Derek, like what he preaches on Alpha Empire, when you come in new, this is a long-term sport. It's more of a marathon than a sprint. So he likes us all to condition our elbows first, and
Right.
everything up in here. And you do that, you start messing with all the other stuff. And there's a lot of dudes on our team that did that. That at first I was able to, beat just doing ugly stuff with my hand and everything, but they did what he said. And a year later, they're beating me and forcing me inside with that elbow side pressure and hook and stuff like that. And so I didn't get to have the experience those newbie pains that you get in your elbow till like
Oh yeah.
year 2 or whatever, and start conditioning that.
Well,
But
that's another reason I for my super matches, I try to target guys that are above me that I really have to fight for, and they expose like Heraclio. Heraclio exposed how much I disconnect from my arm, and he was just ripping me.
yeah,
And Brandon too. Brandon, you can see my first match. I go way out like this, and I slowly climb up, and I'm able to get the pin. But the rest of the match, I'm stuck out here. Bam, done.
right.
So that and Tank's most likely way better than me right now. But I'm gonna attack with everything I have and hopefully pull it out.
Bro, you have been putting the work in. Don't underestimate yourself, dude. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, I might be just because of experience. It's gonna make it a hell of a match. But I do feel strong. But you got to understand, my strength is different in my head than what is actually being put on the table. For some reason, my body just doesn't want to do what I'm telling it to do, and that can make the difference in a match, right? Dude, as long as you stay tight and I can't separate you, you're gonna have a hell of a day. I'm gonna have a hell of a day. You're gonna make my day, crazy. If I can get you separated and with my quick hit, if I hit, because obviously did you watch me against Steve Walker? I didn't move. So, but you have a strong hand. Steve Walker had a strong hand. It seems like everybody who has a strong hand is going to have a really good day with me. Yeah. And maybe I can get to a strap and fucking be sneaky with you. I don't know. But we're going to have fun. That's all, dude. We go there, have fun. I have confidence that we're going to whoop up on each other. I don't know if I'm going to be ready to do anything after that, We are going to pull for the tournament too, so I want to see whoop ass in the tournament.
Oh yeah. Oh well, I'm putting everything I can against you first, and then for sure the tournament after. But I'm going for a 3-0.
Stay down, bitch. I want the full on Casey. Come on, Grizz. That's what I want.
So you guys are both going to compete in the tournament after the match too?
Oh hell yeah!
I love you both for that.
Yeah,
Good.
I am both arms for sure.
He wants you to get a bear paw tattoo if you lose.
I get that anyway, bro. Shit.
I'll get a
tank tattooed on your forehead.
I'll get a little tank on my thumb right here for you.
This match has so many unknown factors. Cool, like how do you put money on a match like this? I don't. What do you?
Honestly, you just
that tattoo match would be cool. A tank or a grizzly bear, that'd be cool, man. either way, the bear is the California logo, and either way, a tank is a badass.
As a matter of fact, I'll take that. I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet.
Will you? All right.
Casey,
I'll
you down?
A tattoo bet?
Casey, are you down? Make this. Oh my God! This
are you talking about exciting match
ever?
Yeah. Dude, might as well. Shit.
I'm down.
I'll get a bear. I'll get a grizzly bear.
Oh, you're down?
I'll get a little tank on me somewhere. I'm down.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Dude, I'm about to own your ass. This is going to be great. I'm going to have my first. You're going to be my biggest fan, bro.
I love it. Yeah, we got to tell Bill.
Awesome.
We got to let everybody know in the stands what exactly.
I'm up for it.
Hey, I think that might be a first ever. I've never seen another match where somebody's got a tattoo. If they really do this and follow through, I mean, I know you guys will, but I'm just saying, like, that's a cool thing.
Dude,
like, it's just
I got the perfect spot for it, right in that star.
Boom. There you go.
Nice.
And you know what's funny? I have 0 tattoos either, so that's how confident I am.
Great.
We got Don Mormon in the house. Don Mormon says, "Do the tats."
Hey, you know what's crazy is I've been trying to get Casey to do like a beard match with people or shave his head or something. He won't do that, but he'll get a tattoo.
He'll do the tats. Wow. What is it? Because he's just that confident.
Yeah, I think so. I think one of these guys is getting a tattoo. Yeah, the cool part is you guys got to get your tattoo and then come back on the show and show your tattoo, which,ever one has the tattoo afterwards.
Dude, yeah.
He's going to earn my respect after this. I know that,
This is gnarly, especially for Casey, because I mean, Tank, you've got tattoos. You've already popped that bubble. But Casey, you don't have any tattoos?
None.
And you're willing to get your first tattoo for this if you lose?
Yeah.
Hey, hey, if there was anything worthy of getting a first tattoo, I think this would be it.
Down.
We're gonna have to message Bill and tell him to update the flyer and let everybody know it's a tattoo match. I think that'll draw some people
Yeah,
too.
yeah. We need we need to find out who does tattoos too. They could do it right there.
Imagine if we could get it right there on the spot, dude. That's like the most viral arm wrestling clip ever.
Oh shit, dude! You want to talk about us making it famous, bro?
Oh
Shit.
man,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll live stream that, and you guys can, get a little bit of ink in between your tournament pulls, and you just hold on, and you go up there and pull a little bit, and then go back and get a little bit more done.
There you go, Tank. You'll be able to, sit down and take a rest every once in a while.
It's only 2 weeks away. I mean, we could probably get a tattoo artist to sponsor it and just do the tattoo right there.
Yeah. That tattoo artist would get some business out of that for sure.
All I is though, they better be good because I ain't having no shit on my arm.
Yeah, yep. So, Don Norman, who was in the house, I just learned something new about Don, Josh and Casey, because you guys probably already know he's a legend in fishing up there, right? Okay.
Big
I knew he fished and I knew he was good at it, but yeah, I was just chatting with Christian Zepeda the other day, and he said that Don is like to fishing what like Alan Fisher is to arm wrestling. Is this true?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Love it.
For sure.
He doesn't like everybody to say that, right? He told me, he's like, man, like as soon as I get away from that, everybody's like putting all this moniker on me and stuff. He's super humble, but he's done. I guess that it's like a lifetime thing for somebody to catch like a bass over 10 pounds, right? Well, Don's done it 63 times.
Oh, crap. Wow.
Yeah. And then plus like a lot of other records and crazy stuff. But yeah, I mean, he loves fishing. He loves fishing for sure.
Amazing.
I've had the pleasure to go with him a couple times, and I'm actually going with him this Sunday as well. So, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I would love to do that. Learn how to fish right. I'm a horrible fisherman. But that's really cool, Don. And what's even cooler is I've known you for a little while now. You have never mentioned that to me. You are one humble dude. So yeah, very cool.
It's all of us young cheerleaders that get to do it for him.
Yeah.
It's just like all the arm benders, like they won't say nothing, but we have to tell everybody, do you know who that guy is? Like, do you know who that guy is?
Well, yeah, I'm your new fanboy, Don. So I've got the flyer for this UAL event coming up here.
Tattoo match. It doesn't say tattoo match. That's not updated.
We've got to change that. We've got to update that. So yeah, there's a few interesting matches. I mean, they're all interesting, and I really kind of, yeah, we've got Jamie Sheldon in there, but I love that the Codys are in this. Autumn and Ray. I haven't seen either of them in a little while. Yeah, Ray Cody has a match versus Michael Nance. Yeah, I was gonna ask, you probably know both of those people, right, Tank?
I've never met Mike Nance, but I definitely know Ray,
Right.
I remember when Ray first came in and he created the Country Crush, and I'm looking forward to seeing him, put a whooping on Mike Nance.
Definitely.
And I don't know how the match is going to go with Autumn. I don't know her. I guess the lady's #1 in Virginia.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I recognize her. And I feel like I might have saw her pulling in Oklahoma. But yeah, I know very, very little about both of them. I know that Autumn, she was like, she competed quite a bit at one time. I don't think she's competing that much recently, right?
No, not for a while now.
Right. I heard it was really good.
For a while.
Funny thing about Ray, when I first met him at one of our practices, I don't know if I was even like a year in, but I was starting to learn who like some of the top level people were. I just didn't know like how to connect them very well or their names and stuff. And when Ray was there, he had his full like biker beard at the time, just covered in tats, and he had the shades on. And I swear, I thought he was Tim Bresnan. Oh yeah, for a while I was like, oh man, Tim Bresnan's at our practice. I didn't even know like where Tim's from.
Short,
And
short.
the thing that was the cherry on top was like Ray was like telling some like cool stories while he was pulling. He was like telling some like cool stories about competitions in like Russia and stuff and all this like gnarly stuff that like went down after the tournament and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, Tim Bresnan's cool, and I didn't realize till the end of practice who he was, but Ray's a cool dude.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
how about Jamie's opponent? I mean, that match right there that's Anderson Oliveira, bro. He's one of the
Yes.
most underrated 205 pullers in the state for sure. He's been at Zloty Tour and did very well at Zloty. The dude he's a great last year at the Vegas Olympia. He's the one who had the long war with Artem. I mean, like,
Oh,
dude
right. Yeah.
yeah, he's a beast, bro. He's a beast, and he just never gets out as much as everybody else does. But that should be fireworks. Like that should be a really, really good match.
Hey,
Yeah,
was
dude's
he?
from Brazil.
But now he's NorCal, right?
Yeah, he lives here, but I believe that's like his original place of origin.
Was he at the Apricot Festival when Jamie pulled there?
No,
Oh, okay. So this will be
no,
interesting. Yeah, looking forward
yeah.
to how this is gonna go. Yeah, man. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. I think we're gonna have a good turnout this year too for the tournament. Really looking forward to it. I think there's gonna be a lot of shaking up in the rankings and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's gonna be crazy, crazy, crazy. So you guys, Tank and Casey, you guys ready to pull Vrej in the overalls? You're gonna see him in the overalls probably.
I hope so.
Hey,
I've been to so many tournaments with him, and I've never got a chance to pull him ever.
Yeah,
I've never even met the guy.
just so you
No,
know, I mean,
he's a
not
monster.
that I mean, hey, everything is everything, but as far as I know, Tom says he's going to state. So I mean that does shake up some things,
That does change
oh,
his.
that'd be awesome.
All
you
right.
know. When you have that many guys at that level in there, I believe that all it takes is enough chipping off the block for something to happen.
Yeah,
Do you
100%.
know if Eli's going?
I don't, man. I haven't heard anything from Eli since Patterson. I mean, that's the last time I seen him when he, or actually right after Patterson at that Uncle John's. But um, yeah, I mean, he's beat Tom the last three times they pulled left-handed.
Yeah.
Left-handed. Eli's dominant left hand, and Tom is on the comeback right-handed. He just went and swept Washington up there,
That's awesome.
right-handed. So
Yeah, man, very cool. Yeah, that's the thing I love about this tournament is, we always get these little clusters and all the small tournaments that happen throughout the year. But this is the one California tournament for a while now that just brings everybody out of the woodworks. And oftentimes even people out of state, out of the country pop in for it too. So that can definitely shake some things up as well. You have no idea who might drop down from Canada or overseas.
Well, I
So
remember last year, we had Texas, Arizona there, Nevada was there,
yeah,
Oregon, I
Mexico.
believe. Yeah,
It should be a
Mexico. Yeah,
The national team came from Mexico. Yeah,
yeah, it was a lot of people.
yeah.
oh, we're not going to see Don this year. Sounds like he's going to be at a celebration of life during that time. Yeah, man. Sorry to hear that. But yeah, Don's like killing it. Like the Don that I saw at the Kringle pull versus the last time I saw him pull. Wow. Yeah, that guy and he's got a similar story to you, Tank. he was in the sport. He popped out of it for a bit and just he's been coming back this year very, very serious. And yeah, hasn't lost a beat. It's pretty amazing. We got Grace in the house. What's up, Grace? Good to see you. Little Bear.
Polar
And
bear.
yeah. Yeah, the other thing that I don't know, we could touch on like some ideas a little bit, but I really want to entertain the idea of getting an all youth event, an all youth tournament here in California that can draw
Love
in,
that.
if we did, since it's not something that's that common in the States, I have a hankering suspicion that we might get a lot of youth from other states. So we don't have a lot that we know of that are competitive right now. There's a handful, I think, that we can all name here in the state, but there's also people that believe that if we did throw that tournament and promote it right, that we'd get a lot of California youth coming out of the woodwork to compete. But I also think we'd get some out of state. What ideas can you guys come up with to make something like that a hit event, to get and when I say that, I mean like to have a good showing of youth come out and the arm wrestling community come out to support, because it might draw on a good crowd for the kids, if it's just their parents, maybe their parents are going to bring some family or friends too, and that's important. But I'd love to see the whole community like come out and show up for it too. So like I don't know if you think we should have some super matches with some adult high level
You got to
pros.
put up Xboxes as the prize.
What, say it again?
You got to put up the Xboxes as the
Oh,
prize.
yeah.
You know, PlayStation X and all bullshit, whatever. I don't even know what's out now. I don't know. But
Yeah, this
Yeah,
new
I don't
generation
either,
is
but
all
it sounds
into it,
cool.
man. Or if you put up some new iPhones for the teenagers and for the younger kids, put up Xboxes. I guarantee you'd have a bunch of kids show up
There you go. I
just
love
because that's the stuff they like.
same time, at the same time, it's location, right? So what would be the best location? I mean, when we used to host those amateurs at Buena Park, that was a good location. But
Okay.
you got to get somewhere where, because if you're going to get, I mean, I think there would be a lot of kids coming out of the woodwork, especially with all the YouTube and TikTok and everything else that's going on.
Right.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, Central would be good too. Something central between, the two halves of the state. I did like that about the North versus South, that we held it in Bakersfield. It was somewhere around 3 hours for everybody in the South, around 3 hours from everybody in the North, to get there, for the most part,
Right.
that could be good. We would just still have to get a really prime location and I think really promote it properly, because 3 hours is a commitment for
Yeah.
both
At
sides.
least a 6 hour
Sure.
or 6 month time frame to put that out there and get the sponsors and everything in there.
Okay, definitely. Now we're talking the youth, so most bars I would say are probably out of the equation. Todd Calozo, we were talking about this a little bit. He had a pretty good point that like, hey man, me and maybe a lot of the dads, we'd be down to have a beer, like if we were, going to take our kids to the event or something like that. So it wouldn't be, depending on the location, like for example, Bruheim, where we do the mega practice, like we can bring kids there. Primarily we're there outdoors. I'm assuming the one we did North versus South at that brewery, they'd probably be cool with it if it was isolated to the event and that area we
Yeah,
did it.
we had kids there at the first North versus South.
We did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that
You know,
could be a possibility, but it's also what kind of atmosphere do we want to, create and promote? What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I would
the other
think
person,
outside.
well, outside, it depends on the time of year, right? So
Right.
that's another thing, because it can get hot as hell out here in Cali, and then it's gonna be rough weather. But maybe try to get a hold of Bass Pro Shop and see if they'd be willing to
Ooh,
to host something where maybe we do it out in their parking lot, get the kids in, and they do some kind of special promotion.
that could be cool. Yeah. Yeah, I
I'll
like
see
that.
if
I
I
mean,
have
that
any
place is,
contacts with them.
yeah, that place is like Disneyland for me. I mean, let's do it there for sure. Um, yeah, I think the time you bring up is really important too. Summertime. It would have to be summertime. Just whenever like the majority of kids are on
Kids are
their
out of school. Yep.
right, right. Yeah, because I know there's like at least when I was in grade school, there's like the year round and then like the traditional or
Yep.
something. But usually there's a particular month or two, and I think it's the first couple that they both are for sure
June. Yeah.
off, like maybe July or something like that. So yeah, that could be cool.
I mean, even just like a nice school gymnasium is good enough for an event like that. You just need
Yeah.
the seating and food and drinks, which you can get trucks and stuff to show up. And I mean, I
Yeah.
can't imagine that'd be too hard.
Just like they did at the thing in October in Victorville. I mean, you do something similar to that.
Yeah. You just need open space and a nice setup.
For
And
sure.
we need to bring sit down wrestling. We need to bring the sit down to the West Coast.
That's a really good point, actually, that you brought up, Tank. The thing that happened in Victorville, I would think to draw youth, you need something like that where there's tons of different vendors that makes it appealing other than just the arm wrestling going on. You know, so
Exactly.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and let's just be real here. I mean, this would boost the sport so much, especially here in our state, because if we could promote it plenty in advance, promote it really well, for an all youth tournament, it could also be promoted as the door that we're kicking open to provide youth rankings in California. Come to this
100%.
event, and we're going to see where everybody stands, and we're going to establish the first California youth rankings off of this event. And once we do that, and these kids know they can, like, oh man, I'm like, number 11 in California, I'm number 8 or I'm number 1, like they can they'd be all into that. And it would also kick the door open for more events, future rankings, to start adding the youth more into all these other regular tournaments. I think it would just be a good magnet to pull them all out of the woodworks, and I think the whole rankings thing could be a good incentive. But probably the biggest is that the PlayStation or whatever you were saying. Xbox.
I would say give away a whole like arm wrestling starter kit for these kids, because I'd imagine the most that are going to show up are going to be brand new to the sport, that they're just like, oh, I can arm wrestle. That's easy to jump into.
Grippers, shoot, my kids would get kick out of those grippers and those little finger things that they have. And
give the kid a little simple pulley system, some grippers, some bands, like a whole kit to get started in the sport.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love it. Love it.
Hey, look, I hate to go back real quick, but I had a brilliant fucking idea. I hate to toot my own horn, but I'm going to do it. Okay, check this out. So, your guys' tattoo, right?
Oh my God.
Listen. Tank, if you win, you get a tattoo of a tank blowing up a fucking grizzly bear, right? And Casey, if you win, you get a fucking tattoo of a grizzly bear ripping apart a tank. Hey, that'd be pretty fucking cool, man. Look,
too much for me, brother. I can't have nothing ripping nothing apart and blowing up.
what happened to the confidence, Tank? What happened to the confidence?
It's not about confidence, bro, because I could probably pull you and him at the same time and smash both y'all motherfuckers. We could go there all day long. But I didn't want to go there, but you just kind of took it there. Because you're not putting a tattoo on anything. So now, hold on. If either one of us win, you got to get a tattoo of our name on your ass.
There you go.
Hey,
I like that.
Who's to say I don't already have it?
You don't, because you wouldn't do something that stupid. I know you wouldn't. And you don't want to show your ass on no damn public TV right now.
No, I won't do that. We'll leave it to imagination.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't bet neither one of you for $5. How about that? Yo, I may be a betting man, but I'm not stupid.
Hey, ask
Yeah.
Tom Nelson about wrestling and shit in an elevator.
Okay. Arm wrestling in an elevator. That's
different. No, it's not arm wrestling. It wasn't actually arm wrestling.
Oh,
it was
straight up
actual wrestling.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
At nationals.
I love it, man.
Who
Yeah.
left the elevator first?
The funny part is I picked him up and I was flinging him around like a little child. But I was like, man, I can't do that with his arm. There ain't no fucking way.
Yeah.
No, but back to the kids thing, right? So I want to be involved with that as much as I got 5 children myself, and I have a few that want to arm wrestle, so that'd be great.
That's wonderful to hear, man. Yeah. Let's do this. I'll definitely be in contact with you, and we're gonna make this happen for sure.
And I'll try not to curse as much. I mean, I know I have a problem with that. That's my bad.
That's all good. It's good. Yeah, that's the only reason I try and we don't go full tilt on this show. I don't mind that though. But I think the general theme of the show is more purist arm wrestling. We really have a passion for the sport and everything, talking about the competition and showcasing new pullers. So in a general way, it keeps things pretty mellow. But yeah, I really, as we do boost the youth, hopefully this can be a platform that they can be a part of as well. But let's do this. And the reason why we are talking about it right now is, I think 6 months is a good timeline to start promoting it. I mean, look at that, what LeRae Jenkins is doing. He just in December started promoting for next December for his 32-man bracket thing he's doing there. And those brackets are full, dude. And everybody's into it. It's the best way to go is create some leeway. What I like about that too is it helps make a little bit more synchronicity between all the events. If we can put those out in advance, talk to each other in advance, we can schedule optimally so we don't have tournaments on top of tournaments and stuff like that.
I got another idea for you, Kane.
Yeah.
So Harold Ryden has the rights to Calico Days for the arm wrestling muck rake boulder roll. And maybe that's another platform for the kids, do a kids tournament of that up in there. Because then they get to go see Calico at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. I like it. And Calico, that's near we're not talking
Barstow.
Virginia City, that's Carson City. Barstow. Okay. Gotcha.
Yep, outside the Yermo area.
Okay. That's not too bad of a drive for the Northerners, right?
For the Northerners, it's a little further than Bakersfield.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because that would be somewhere around 4 hours for you guys that are a little bit further up north, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
Hey, me and Casey don't even win unless it's 11 hours or more.
Oh no, Arizona was 9 and that shit was rough.
Dude, I drove to New Mexico for a tournament and that was too much, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a 1-day turnaround. It was oh God, no, never again.
No.
Yeah.
That's what we did to Arizona. We drove 9 hours to get there. We had to wait 4 hours until the matches started. So we were hanging out, had breakfast, went and had the matches, after pulled, and then turned right back around and drove straight back.
That's wild. Yeah, a lot of respect to you guys for that. See the road trip part, I'd be so into. I love that, but to compete along with it, that's rough business. It gets get yourself timed right and get all lethargic in a car for hours.
I'm telling you, we need to do a thing like they did with the skateboarding, where we have 10 Econoline vans, Team California, King of the Road, and you go and you take your 7-man team or whatever it is, and you go battle every state. You just show up and boom, and you have different challenges along the way that you have to do. Yeah,
totally.
I love that idea.
Yeah, we're on the way for that, I think. First we're definitely trying to get California behind a small crop of people we can help send out of state to compete, represent us. But yeah, like I really like that. That would be going big, like just create a dream team. And that would be very sponsorable, you know, if we talked, because now if you take like let's say 8 arm wrestlers, you know, or at least enough to cover each class and do women's and men's. And then you put together the production for it too, who's going to be live streaming during the touring process, and who's going to be behind it and everything like that. You put some production behind it, that you know has strong channels and everything like that. I think the sponsors would get involved. They'd be like, yeah, you're getting state to state exposure,
Yeah.
from good promotions.
You'll want the RV right there.
If you've never watched King of the Road, man, check
it out.
What's it called?
King of the Road.
King of the Road. Okay.
King of the Road.
This is a skate video?
Yeah, it's skateboarding. So like back in the day, Thrasher is the one who put it on. Like 10 teams from around the United States would get in vans, and they'd have 2 weeks where they have to go drive across America to different skate spots and do different challenges. And at the end of the thing, the team with the most points won the grand prize, blah, 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 blah. But all of the 2 weeks of video of driving and the funny shit in the van and all that was what made for such entertaining viewership. Right. So I think, especially in the time that we're in, if we can intertwine that, you know, and make something like that, I think it would be something really cool. And then who doesn't want to pull up in a freaking van that's like Team California? You know, we all hop out with matching logos and matching California Arm Wrestling League jerseys and, you know, whatever. So.
Yes, let's do this. Let's do this. I love it.
Shoot for the moon, land with the stars.
Yeah, we've got 2024 is going to be a big year, man. We've got a lot to accomplish, but I think we can do it. We just pull everybody together, get the right heads together. We can do this. We can do an all women's tournament. We can do an all youth tournament. We can start sending people out of state. We can do this for sure. Start doing more team oriented competitions.
We can do a tournament like they do overseas, where there's no amateur or anything. It's just one open class, just one tournament.
Definitely, you know? Definitely.
It'd be cool to do stuff like that, just to mix it up.
Yeah. Just to see. I mean, it'd be cool to have, because like you know, saying earlier, like the chipping off the block. It'd be cool to have a 35-man class, regardless. You know, to have that many people in a class or whatever it is, because it's just one open tournament. And we know by overalls that anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it'd be cool.
Absolutely. And giving us talking about this stuff early, giving everybody a good time to prepare for it. This is great. You know, people are going to commit to something when they know it's that far out and it's cool, and they can really put in their training and time and focus into it. I think a lot of the tournaments where people oftentimes are questionable is not just the drive or the money or whatever. It's like, oh, like, you know, this tournament it started being promoted. It's coming up in like 3 weeks. I just finished a tournament. You know, you don't really, how is this going to interrupt with my training for UAL, or how is it, you know? So yeah, I think proper planning is important. Little Bear, she says yes, sit down arm wrestling. She liked what you had to say, Tank. I like it too. Now, like, are we thinking the formal kind? That the
formal, we got to do it exactly like they do on the East Coast with that table they got set up, the proper height. We got to do it exactly that way so we can make it generic across the board, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah, I like it. I also like that freedom arm wrestling too. And that's all kinds of fun. It reminds me of lunch table arm wrestling. Just it gets a little wily. But then when I think of like the actual formal side of sit down arm wrestling, I really think of just kind of taking the body a good amount out of the equation for it. You're still kind of using it, but it's just different. It's a lot more arm on arm. Am I right in that, or what do you guys think?
I've actually never done it, but I'm assuming it's more side pressure in your arm than
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
I wonder if you get a foul if your butt leaves the chair.
Yeah, you
so.
set up.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure your ass has to be planted on the
Wait a
chair.
minute. That probably not favor top rollers then, right? I mean, it would probably favor the inside
hookers.
pullers.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
But it's not impossible to top
Yeah.
roll in it. I watched them top roll, but yeah, it definitely favors hookers. So but I mean, it's a style of arm wrestling.
I'm all for it. Let's sign up right now. Let's do it. If
Yeah,
we could just
pressers.
go away with all the running around, and if we could just arm wrestle, let's do it.
Right.
Dude, if I could arm wrestle for a living, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So Malia told me, my wife told me on our way home from Arm Fest, she said, I wonder if they have an Arm Wrestlers Anonymous. I think we need to sign you up for that, Kane. It's like, God, you come home from work, you're listening to an arm wrestling podcast, and then, on the weekends you're going to arm wrestling practice, or you're gonna, and I'm about to wrap this good stuff up because I need to go do some arm wrestling training too. But yeah, it's hard, when you have the bug and you love the sport and everything. I could see how it can get. Like for me, it doesn't step over priorities and things like family and stuff like that. And I could see if it did disrupt with a lot of that stuff, how it could be a negative thing. But for me, and I think for a lot of people as well, it's a positive thing. Like for me, it kind of enriches everything else to be able to, like, I don't think I'd be as healthy. I don't think I'd be, training as hard at my age to, just
I mean, it ain't that healthy. Look at Casey and I, but
Hey, one of the best things that Steve, so like, I always talk about arm wrestling. That's all I think about all the time, right?
Mm.
But it's more the community than it is the sport, right?
Right.
That's the big deal for me that I,
Yeah.
keep on. And what it does for me is like I have 4 children, and they're able to see that when you want something, you go after it. You go, you travel, you put in the work, you do this, you do that, you don't make excuses. And so it's more we should all do that in our life, no matter what our facet is or what we're trying to get into. We should chase things that we're into, not just chasing what's what everybody else is doing. So I think that's what it does mainly for me, and that's why I just can't get enough of it. It's such a good thing. It sells a good thing. It shows responsibility. The community's good. 99.999% of the people are just awesome. The douchebags weed themselves out. It's really, it's special. It's special, and it's the community. So
exactly, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, there is something very interesting and very special about the community for sure. Yeah, we were talking about that as well. Like, you don't get a lot of, like, this might be a little stereotypical or youthful thinking, but you don't get a lot of like your typical jocks or like bro dudes in arm wrestling. Like I know more of my share like punk rockers, just tradesmen, and people that have been through some gnarly stuff in their lives too, that embrace this sport. And that's part of why, like, yeah, Tank, earlier you were talking about like wanting to make a good representation of this sport and how some people don't. Yeah, I completely agree with that, because the truth is, this community, the people that compete in it, the people that are just a part of the community, they're good people, man. That they all really, really are. And it's not that, like, that kind of barroom belligerent, test of who's like tougher kind of thing. It's not really, we have fun. We have fun a little bit in competition, but for the most part, like, I've never been a part of a community like this one. And I'm
Not
I
as
trying to wrap
accepting
my
as
head around why, but you know,
right.
Well, I
yeah,
think a
There's
lot of people make the mistake between confidence and ego.
mm,
And
yeah.
it's good to be confident, but coming into the sport with an ego, someone's eventually just going to smash you and you're going to get humbled eventually. So I
right,
think that's the main reason you don't get the jock guys, because they won't last, because they'll get smashed by a small guy and not understand why, and all their
they're
egos
done.
up in their head. And yeah,
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 I would agree with that 100%. You know, we all got into the sport through some channel, right? But it's so weird. It's like some of y'all I would have never hung out with in the world, you know. And then when we got arm wrestling as a common denominator, it brings us together. It's crazy because you know I've met some of the greatest people through this sport. Now, not so great. I have had my issues with some in the past, but you know I've made my amends with them all. But yeah, you know the community is what brings me back every time.
definitely. Yeah, yeah. Some of my favorite friends are in this community for sure. Yep. Yeah, it's definitely a special sport. And yeah, I'm excited. Like the way I've viewed this, in the last year, especially working with you, Josh, just the ways that we can be of service to the community, that gives a lot of value to it for me as well. Like the business that I run right now up here on the mountain that I live, I never would have envisioned myself doing that if not for the community kind of like uh realizing that I could be of service in a certain way. And it's been the same thing with this community, realizing that maybe we can help with the committee, maybe we can help the tournaments, maybe we can help bring youth arm wrestling to California and things like that. I think there's a lot of importance to that, and we're all doing it, dude. Like we're like this is a community driven sport, and I think that's cool. You throw anything out to the community like, hey, what do you guys think about this? Can we do this? And the people that come out of the woodwork to help out, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, it's time for me to tuck my kids in, boys. They're over there. I can hear them in the background.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a good note to end this on. It was a pleasure having both you giants on here. Let's do this again for sure soon. Good
Okay.
luck to you both at UAL. Paul Stevens, who just popped in the chat, what's up? Thanks for dropping in. And everybody else in the chat, thank you for popping in and hanging out with us. Yeah, tune in next time. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're not. Let's help boost this thing and showcase
Hell
more
yeah.
arm wrestlers. All right, guys, you have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you
everyone.
both. Thank you both for coming on, and thank you, for being willing to come on the show, even though me and Kane it's just a little show. But hey, we're getting it going. You guys got big things going on. You got a big
Thanks.
match coming up, and now you got a tattoo involved. All
Ah.
right.